Welcome to Compai's Expat channel, Everything Expat.
Welcome to Compai's Expat channel, Everything Expat.
Bill and myself were back in the studio. Everybody said they wanted us to do a dive show, so we're doing the dive show. But what I wanted to really talk about was Bill's book. This is Bill's book. This is the second edition from 2015.
2015, yeah. So it's a little dated.
But it's still relevant because the dive spots don't change. This is also a tour guide. It has a lot of great information that people who come to Sosua could use, let alone talking about the diving that's here. So how long did it take you to write this book?
Oh, that's a good question. I probably worked on it for a few months, at least 3 months, maybe. Get it in the right format, make sure that and getting it proofread because I spelled Sosua wrong almost every time.
Yeah, that would be my thing. Just grammatically, the lady would be working her tail off for me because I can't write. But this is an awesome book. And thank you, Bill, for donating the book to Compai Studio. It's an honor, true honor.
You're very welcome.
How about you walk us through the book?
Sure. When I first came down here to Sosua, I was looking for information on diving. And you can go to the dive shops, but most of the other places around the world, you can find a book to tell you what it's like and what's there. But no such luck for Sosua. So I thought, okay, I've been diving here for X amount of years at that time. I thought I'm going to write a book on it to give people some information. So I didn't quite realize how much effort went into writing a book, but it was interesting. But I ended up writing it, and about a year later, I decided, okay, I'm going to update this. And this is the updated version from 2015.
So that's the second edition?
Yes, the second edition. Okay. Slowly, maybe a little faster now, and I'm slowly working on a new updated edition because things do change. A lot of the guiding parts in here, or the tourist areas that are mentioned in here, have changed over the last, 2015 would be 9 years ago. And some of the dive sites have actually changed too, just from sand movement and ocean movement. But basically, that's where we're at.
So people can still get the second edition book, even though it was written in 2015, and get a good understanding of all the dive spots that are down here. So I was thumbing through the book, and you're given depth at each dive spot?
Yeah, pretty much what I did was there's the dedication and the introduction and a little bit about me. And I see that that's kind of outdated too, but that's all right. And we'll fix that for the next one. Then I put in a map, just overview of the whole diving area here in Sosua. And then I put in a map of the dive sites. So there's actually a little map on here with basically shows our bay and the dive sites. And the first section of the book goes through each of the different dive sites and lets you know what you can see, talks a little bit about them, talks about the depth, the maximum depth, the entries, the exits on them. It's all boat diving, and it gives you a little bit of, for instance, the Zingara, the local wreck out here, gives you information about that ship. It gives you bottom depth. So if I start my dive, I'm going to go down to 15 feet or 5 meters, and I'll hit a sandy bottom just on some sites. Some sites it's a straight drop, and you could go down to way deeper than recreational limits are. So
a novice diver can use this book and pretty much get an idea of how many dive sites fit into their level of diving. And also for an experienced diver that says, okay, we got wrecks, we got the airport wall that are deeper dive sites. So this is good information for somebody who's never been to Sosua to figure out their diving schedule.
Yeah, that's a good point. It is. This will give you an idea of what exists here. And combining that with with a number of my photos. There's photos on every page, or every back page, of the different things you can see. All our marine life out here. So it's relatively comprehensive in that way.
So basically, you pretty much said, okay, you have 3 rocks. When you go to 3 rocks, you're going to be at this depth with this type of bottom. And while you're diving there, these are the fish that are at that dive site.
Yeah, exactly, John.
Wow, that's super in depth.
We didn't have any information out there, so it's kind of neat.
Need to get this book. How many dive shops have sold that book? Were dive shops selling the book?
There were. I think 4 of the dive shops at the time were selling the book.
Nice.
When then they were available online as well.
Amazon?
Yeah.
Perfect. Because
or directly from me, either one. No problem. But after that, we also included some of the sites a little farther away from here, up Doo-Doo Caverns.
What is Doo-Doo Caverns?
Doo-Doo is a freshwater lake area, freshwater cenotes. And it's really neat because you're actually cavern diving. You're not cave diving, but you're cavern diving. So you're going through big underwater tunnels.
All right. What's the difference between a cave dive and a cavern dive?
A number of things. A cavern dive, technically, you can see the way out at the other end. It's generally shorter. Well, it is shorter. But you can always see a freshwater exit or an exit. So it's like a giant swim through. Cave diving is when you go back into a cave and it's extremely technical for one thing, and it's very dangerous. And it is where you cannot see your exit point. So you have to run lines.
No way.
It's not. It's very, very technical. And an interesting thing though is the Dominican Republic here has one of the largest underwater cave systems in the world. That's really cool. And one of the local divers who's no longer diving, sadly, but nothing bad. But he did major exploration on it. And it's really big and cool.
Now the local folklore, I was told because Doo-Doo, which is the name of the cave system, is that part. That's it's past Rio San Juan, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a little over an hour away.
Yeah, it'd be an hour away.
So
at least. I
was told that you could start in the caverns of Doo-Doo and go all the way to Cabarete. I don't know if that's true. That's some of the local folklore that you're sitting in the bars and everybody's talking, especially after 3 grandes. But that's what what I heard. Is that true? That you know of?
I don't know. I know the caves go way back. I don't know that they went in that direction at all, but I know they do go way back. At one point, there's a sign under there to warn you. And there's a very little entranceway. You can get through it, and that is where the actual cave diving starts. And the sign there is very specific. It says, if you go past here, you will die. Okay. So it's pretty accurate. Pretty accurate.
Because if you go in Cabarete, where Ocean Village is, and you make the right, there's caverns and caves back there.
Yeah, and they're really cool.
With lakes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So it's very possible they're connected. I don't know, and that would be something well beyond my expertise.
Because I was also told Playa Grande has good diving.
I don't know. Actually, I haven't dove Playa Grande. We drove at Rio San Juan, and Rio San Juan is talked about in the book here. We drove at Doo-Doo, and when you go up more towards the Samana, there's really good diving up there too. Cabo Cabron, our national park, is absolutely beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. The scenery, the sheer cliffs, and the underwater world there is just spectacular.
it's a beautiful island.
Yeah.
It truly is. And I am doing myself the biggest injustice because I don't go anywhere. Between Casa de Compai, which, thank you, Casa de Compai, for sponsoring this video. So we'll be right back after the word from our sponsor. So I want to get out and see more of this beautiful island. I love the island. I need to make time and do it. It's so easy to come down here and get in your routine, and I'm already living where I want to live. So, but the Monte Cristi, I hear, is interesting as well.
Oh, yeah, Monte Cristi is really interesting. There's some phenomenal diving up there. I haven't been to Monte Cristi since before COVID, but the diving there was really neat. There wasn't a lot of fish life because of, again, uncontrolled fishing, but the corals, especially on the Haitian side of the border, you access it from the ocean and get permission. But the corals there and the big reef there is beautiful. There's also a wreck that's split in two in Monte Cristi, and it's a pretty cool dive. It's pretty neat.
Well, one of my favorite places to go on the island is Punta Russia.
Yeah, Punta Russia is really pretty, very nice, pretty much unspoiled, and again, really good diving. It's probably 3 hours from here, something like that.
Yeah, it's about 3 hours, and it's not an easy drive.
No.
And that's why it hasn't had the base of tourism that's there. You can go there, you can get Airbnbs. Most people have seen pictures of Punta Russia, but they don't know it. It's that little sandbar that's out in the middle of nowhere, and you got all these little boats, but there's a reef right at the sandbar, and it takes you about a 20-minute boat ride to get out to it.
get out to it. Yeah.
And then once you get out there, it's shallow. You have the reef, and then it just drops off. So you have a lot of fish,
Yeah, it's nice. It is nice. Absolutely.
So getting back to the book, so it's extensive about all the diving points locally to Sosua and in Sosua, but you also have guides for tourism here, like what there to do in town, basic information that a new tourist would need.
Yeah, that's true, Don. I got the list of the dive shops, of course, the dive shops you can go with here, and all of them. So you've got a good choice, good variety. I've got the hospital, all the emergency numbers, American consulate, Canadian consulate, the police, fire, the hospital, just some good information that you should have. Then I've got a section on the activities that are available here, and the shopping, and a little bit about the culture and some of our cultural things you can see here. Talk about the monkey jungle, of course, and Cabaret, the windsurfing capital of the world. Yep. We've got some contacts for all those people. And then we've also got just things about how to get around here. Yep. Money and money exchanging. At the time, it was pretty much a cash society. Not very many people back in 2015 took credit cards here. So you had to have money. A little bit more now on the credit card thing, but still, for the most part, I would say it's a cash society.
I prefer cash.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. Cash. Please send me all your cash. That's great. Then we got a section on the bars and restaurants that exist here in Sosua, and that's got to be updated. Section on lodging and villa rentals. Different hotels, different types of accommodation, and different contacts for where you can get a hold of these people.
So when you're going to do the third edition, other than updating the parts of the book that are already there, are you going to add anything new to the book that the first and second edition doesn't have?
Yeah. What I do have, the other things I do have in here, I've got more stuff related to diving. So an dive equipment checklist that you can use, a section on photo tips if you're a budding underwater photographer, gives you some hints on how to maybe improve on some stuff. I got an index to all the different pictures that are in the book to explain what those fish are and what the animals are that you're looking at. Because it's great to see the picture, but if you don't know what it is,
that makes sense.
Well, that was cool. And then at the very back, I actually put a little logbook in here, so you can log your dives and keep a record right in the book of your diving here. But yeah, to your point, what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do on the new book, is expand the dive sites and expand it, and probably include. I'll definitely include up in Samana, and possibly down Bayahibe Way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, possibly down there. We'll get a little updating. I think is probably the biggest thing we'll have, because things change over time.
Sure.
The dive sites do change. You get big storms, like when we had the 2 hurricanes.
Sure, change the whole beach.
Change the whole beach, yeah. So yeah, we'll just basically do an update, include different things to do now that Sosua and Cabarete and this whole area is getting better, more advanced, more things to do. Just give people more options, and just to spread the word about how nice it is here, how good the diving is here, and what you can expect coming down to Sosua.
It's one of the reasons that I'm doing Compai's Expat channel, is because Sosua is not represented well online. I don't like it. I have a problem with it. I think it's putting this town in an extremely bad light for all the wrong reasons. This weekend alone, this is it's February 9th. It's February 9th, 2024. Most people don't know there's a professional surf competition in Encuentro, which is not even 15 minutes away. But most people won't even know about it. We'll be there filming.
And it's world class.
World class. I mean,
world class.
Yeah, it's
These guys are on the tour.
And you have the kite surfing world competition here. We're on the map for things that are so much better than what Sosua is being representative for. And that's my goal of this, is to expand people's comprehensive knowledge that there's more to do here. We haven't even talked about all the new things that are being built in the Campo up in the mountains.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of eco lodges being built. There's a lot of tours that are being built, maintained, waterfalls, rivers, lakes. There's so much more to do than just what Sosua is known for, and that needs to change.
Yeah.
It's our goal to be that voice of reason and bring it there.
We have some of the best mountain biking anywhere here. There's phenomenal mountain biking trails, and some that are really, really tough, where you're going to be carrying your bike, and somewhere you're crossing streams, and it's just a lot of fun. The way back, and you get to meet people in the little villages too. So it's pretty cool.
I love the Campo.
Yeah.
That's when you're meeting the real Dominicans and the real DR. You know, that's what you're seeing, the culture, the attitude of the people. I personally love it. So get Bill's book. The link will be in the description down below. Thank you for watching Compai's Expat channel. This is number 2 of our show. There are going to be more videos coming, so please subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Have a good one.